We travel to visit Joe's body with Ming in my stand-in episode 9. Joe, who wants to see it for himself as well, reports to What and Soul. As he finds it difficult to express his emotions, Soul holds his hand. They are prevented from entering while the physicians take DNA samples by Ming's secretary. Ming, though, is inside and has been in a stupor throughout. Calling the seer to confront his lies, Ming becomes distraught. However, the seer advises him to confirm the body first, and Ming ends the call. While they wait for the results, the boys ask Joe why what gave Ming his house in their conversation. He had attempted to contact Joe's family back then, but Ming had safeguarded it as they just wanted little amounts of his belongings. Soul explains that it's because Ming felt bad. Joe is reminded that he is the one who put him in this situation when Soul turns on What and asks him if he truly believes Ming loved him as he is taking a shower. When the DNA report is completed, Ming remains in the room where Joe's body is covered. Without even opening the report, he accepts it. Joe tries to observe the body when they're all asleep. But Jim assures him that Ming won't let anyone in and that it's just bones. Joe battles his way through and discovers Ming lying on the ground with the report open. It's the old Joe no more. Joe contemplates his buddy's futures. Soul swears to purchase back whatever he owns and advises him to let his friend to assist him this time. What then affirms that Ming would have a funeral right away, adding that it would probably be best to have a private service. Recalling their last phone conversation, during which he informed Joe he would no longer be a substitute, Ming laments alone during the event. What and Soul silently join Joe, paying their respects to him. Joe follows suit, leaving in silence and staying outside while observing the tears welling up in Ming's eyes. Ming stays behind, remembering how he handled Joe while everything, including the coffin, is taken out. While Ming sobs outside the cremation, Joe observes the door shut on his casket. Now as What and Soul are dragging him away, Joe can't help but lash out at him, yelling at him for crying. Ming lets out a louder cry. Ming then assures them that he will handle Joe's belongings, including his ashes. Everything has already been emptied out and he plans to burn it all. What protests, but Ming says that since Joe is his, everything belongs to him. What then suggests that everything might not be resolved as Ming claims, adding that there is still time. He will try his best. That night, Joe enters his former home covertly while Soul stands guard outside. Ming shows up as Joe searches through boxes to collect memories. He thinks the new Joe is the old Joe because he was inside before they arrived. The items he has gathered serve as evidence. Ming admitted that he had tricked him into going there in order to make him admit who he is. Ming is positive that Joe is the person he loves, even though Joe reminds him of everything he's done to his Tong replacement. And cry out for another opportunity. At this point, Soul walks in to hit Ming and yank Joe out. Soul tries to persuade Joe outside that Ming is just feeling bad. Joe concurs, saying that he would have succeeded Tong if he hadn't passed away. Joe is resolved to avoid repeating the past when Soul urges him to swear he won't go back to Ming. Joe is anxious the following day during a video release ceremony. In front of the media and supporters, Soul grabs his hand and declares that he is his boyfriend. But in the video, the interviewer thinks he means something. Soul, who can answer anything with ease, puts his arm around Joe while he stammers nervously. Ming enters the room from the back, carrying a large bouquet for Joe. Everyone believes it to be a publicity gimmick for a future music video. However, Soul appears clearly unhappy. Mr. Pratch brings the stars to meet their sponsors and remarks that he had invited Ming as the room clears. Ming asks Joe to share a drink with him at the party. Ming claims that Joe is more stubborn than ever, while Joe thinks he's still as demanding as ever. Despite his claims to have learned his lesson, Joe continues to pour Ming's drink.